Here is first look at the Hoyt Pro Defiant. I'm shooting a 34 model. Again, this is live. Hey guys, hey everybody. Hey everybody. Yeah, we're probably gonna have some neighbors doing a bunch of bull crap, but they probably think I'm doing bull crap too. So here it is, Hoyt Pro Defiant 34 right there. That's it. So a lot of people have been asking difference between this and last year's. To be totally honest with everybody, if you've got last year's Defiant, you should love it, but you should also know that this one's had a few adjustments made for tuning. Tuned unbelievable. I actually pulled this sight off another Defiant. I did have to change my pins a little bit, but I haven't actually truly weighed them both apples to apples, so there could be a difference in poundage. But for those of you who are not familiar with the Hoyts, the DFX cam is an awesome cam system. What I like about this cam is that the way the string comes off the limb, it actually keeps your string angle good. So like for me, at my draw length, which I'm a 31-inch draw, shoot about 30.5 on my hunting bows. But even at my size, 6'5", 30.5 to a 31-inch draw, when I draw back, my string angle is still nice, so I don't have to tip my head forward to the string. I really like that. If you're shooting a 31-inch model, you pretty much have the exact fit of most other bows in a 34-inch model. So you can shoot that smaller size and still have a really good string angle. I actually shot a Carbon Defiant 31 for most of last year as well. And for those of you who are kind of curious, like what's going on, they kept the Carbon Defiant, which I think they're extremely smart to do that, because the Carbon Defiant sold so well that why not keep it going. And it also allows them to bring out two bows next year that could be dynamite, but they are able to build a little bit on this aluminum model. And what I like as well is, and what we all need to remember is, not everyone can pay the price range of a carbon model. So several years ago, I shot a Hoyt Charger for the deer season, if you guys remember, and I did that because there's a lot of people that only can pay $400 or $500 for a bow. This bow is going to probably sell for, thanks everybody for wishing me good luck. If I read, I'm going to stumble, so just give me a few minutes. So this bow is going to probably sell, I would guess, at a store for about 350 bucks less than the carbon. So here's the truth, the skinny. If you hunt in extremely cold conditions, the Carbon Defiant, that is a huge benefit to be able to grab a riser and it's not cool. If you're not worried about that and you're out for a new bow, this is an awesome bow. Shoots great. I actually need to go in and show you guys my new rest. I'll have to grab that. I forgot to grab that, but that's it right there. I've actually got stock Hoyt strings on there right now. This thing's pretty much totally as is. Fuse stabilizer. Let's see, is there any, just gonna scroll back through, was there any, hey Jesse Broadwater, you freak, why aren't you out here with me? You never call me back. I've been trying to get you to podcast, but everyone should team up on Jesse. So here's the deal. Jesse keeps telling me I should shoot again. I'll probably crap this all up now that you're on there. Thanks. That's kind of good though. I get some pressure. So I'm gonna go ahead and shoot this a little bit at 80. The elk's down there at 80 yards. It's kind of my favorite distance. I'm gonna just start out with that silverback. For all of you out there wondering about can you shoot a tension activated release in long distance or whatever, absolutely you can. So let's do it. Hopefully you guys can kind of shades. There's my dog. For any of you listening to the podcast, that's the famous Shades right there. She got hit by a semi a couple years ago, so she grunts and groans a lot, poor thing. All right, let's see. Can't seem to get the feed going. Oh, is there any reason I stopped using the Smackdown? Yeah, there's a few reasons. I don't like to talk bad about stuff though, so if I change, there's a reason. I'll just leave it at that. All right, let's let a few go here. All right, I'm gonna read questions. Might as well check that one out just because I know Jesse's watching. So Jesse, since you're watching, that's a 1 arrow shoot off right there, and that was me and you, like old times. I'll give you guys a little story about Jesse Broadwater. He would never talk at all until I befriended his longtime friend Tony Clem, and Tony and I shot Redding together, and we went out to dinner with Jesse, and he said we're gonna go out with Jesse, and I said, oh great, he never says anything. Well, guess what? When Jesse's around his friends, that guy doesn't stop talking. He talked non-stop. And then when we shot Vegas together, we were both clean, and I remember we were down to the last end, I think, second to the last end, weren't we, Jesse? And you shot a 9. It's like the first thing you said the whole day. You said shit. So, but here's, yeah, of course. Are all you back in? That's my fault. I was on Wi-Fi, and the Wi-Fi doesn't reach this far, so I had to switch to my regular phone, but hopefully you guys are back on. I'm gonna wait for a few comments. Sorry about that. It's my first time on a live DIY feed, but let's see. All right, people are coming back in. Here they come. All right, thanks everybody for coming back. I forgot I had Wi-Fi on, so sorry about that. That sucked. Yep. Okay, hi everyone, you're back. So here was my shot anyway. That's why I saved that for Jesse. That's my shot for the ASA champ right there. K50 Dominator, I call him. But well, I'll leave that one in there to aim at. So anyway, I don't know if I got cut off, but Jesse and I both missed arrows, I think, on like the last end, and Jesse finally said something. It wasn't a pleasant word. It wasn't that bad of a word though, in case Jesse's friends are watching. So anyway, let's see what we got here for questions. Are you dropping your ring finger off the silverback? So there's certain times where I do, certain times where I don't. I think it's like a lot of you guys. I'm gonna show you, I'm gonna set this down. Hopefully you guys aren't too bummed out that I'm self-recording here. I'll just talk you through this. I'm not gonna talk about why I'm not shooting it, so I don't go there. But here's the silverback. So a lot of times I'll hang my finger, sometimes I drop it. It really just depends. The main thing is you really want to keep this hand flat. You want this hand flat, you want it here. And what's cool about only having 2 fingers on the release, and since Jesse's on here, Jesse is probably one of the originators, like me, of shooting a 2-finger release. He shot a little 2-finger for a long time, as did Tony Clem. What's nice about it is you can actually bring this index finger under your jawline, middle finger above the jawline, and you can really focus on pulling with the main fingers that will activate this release as you come through. I'm not sure on this camera angle if you'll be able to see kind of my pulling motion, but just so that you guys understand, when I'm here at full draw in this position, I'll focus on pulling that elbow straight back to you guys. But what's nice about having this shape the way that I made it is that you can drop it or you can hang it if you want. But what it doesn't allow you to do is manipulate it like this. That's what I don't like about a lot of the 3 and 4 finger releases, is people start to try to activate their release either by rocker position or angle. They start to try to manipulate that release to get it to fire, or make a fist to get it to fire. That needs to stay straight and it needs to come through like this. And as soon as that shot breaks, that bicep should be contracting to pull this release hand over that shoulder like that. So we're gonna, might as well shoot a few more down here. Give you guys a few shades. Heel. Good girl. Let's see. Yeah, for angle, you guys will be able to watch this pretty good. Okay. If I stop to talk, it kind of messes up my rhythm just a little bit. Okay, any benefit to shooting the Pro Defiant versus the Carbon Defiant? Other than the fact it's newer. I talked about that earlier. You know, I really like the Carbon Defiant. The Carbon Defiant's a great bow for someone that's in that price range. If you're in the price range of an aluminum bow, this is a different model altogether. All right. Jesse. Payback's gonna be a mother one day, you know. All right, come over here, Shades. Jesse, tell me how this one works, how this one's looking. Was that one good too? All right. No, it's not a 1-pin HHA. It's actually an old sure-loc. And oh yeah, by the way, so this is a hunting bow too. I'm shooting 80 yards with my hunting bow, full mega size peep sight, fixed pins, all that good stuff. So let's see. Okay, what rest are you shooting? I'll get to that. Yeah, I know they've got a senior division just because I'm gray. Hello. All right. Gosh, every time I come down here, it gets a little bit shaky for, let's see. I've noticed that you said you still have the stock Hoyt strings. Let's see. Okay, well here's, I'll show you my group too, by the way, so you guys know that I'm not like just saying that's an X or whatever. Here you go. There it is. I was a few inches high. Not bad for an old guy, but that's showing you, oh, these things are so tough. I'm gonna wedge you guys in the ear of that elk until you fall. All right, so that's, let's see here. Train your dog to get your arrows. My old dog did. My old dog Turd, for those of you who used to shoot with me on the Cabela's tour, that's actually how I got to meet Dave Watson. Dave and I met because I was on the Pro-Am range and someone missed the target, and I told Turd to find it, and he did, because I used to have him, I trained him to do that. So Dave couldn't believe it, and then Dave ended up inviting me to do my first ever filming, which is when I started doing Bushnell's Secrets of the Hunt with Dave Watson in the mid to late 90s. Firecracker. let's see. Drive down to the Players. I normally use my bike, my felt bike. So I'm gonna just, since Jesse's on here, might as well, I'm gonna bring you up, Jesse, to, let's do it. Like old time's sakes. Whoa, okay. Hold on. I gotta figure this out. Dang, Mustang. Hold on. I gotta wedge you guys in this. It's the only thing I have to video myself. Let's see. Sorry guys. Can you see? Oh yeah, you guys can see. Let's just, why don't we go back all the way back? Let's drop some mega bombs. We just added 30 yards. So let's see how this Defiant shoots maxed out. And I'll stick with the, I'll just shoot the silverback still. I'll get to your questions while I'm walking down. So we're up here close to the road now. Got some shitty footing. Feels like a field course. All right. That's a 12, Jesse. That's a 12 with a hunting bow. Another Jesse Broadwater story for you. So, Jesse Broadwater is the one that talked me into getting a heater bodysuit. I don't know if I ever told you this, Jesse. He talked me into getting a heater bodysuit. I thought it was the dumbest looking thing I've ever worn. I actually laughed at it. Sent him some pictures from inside of it. And the first time I took it out, I had it on the back of my backpack. I fell out of a tree 20 feet onto my back, and that saved my life, dude. I don't know if you know that, but when I blew my kidney out and I was in the hospital for a week, that heater bodysuit, Jesse Broadwater, saved my life. All right, now Johnny Heath's on. This is getting interesting. I like having my old buddies on because I can tell you guys a whole bunch of cool stories. So, the awesomest, well, let me shoot another arrow, then I'll tell you a Johnny Heath story. All right, that one's a fuzz low, but the craziest 3D score and range I've ever seen shot was from Johnny Heath. We were in Illinois, Johnny, if you remember. We were at that, I forget what range it was, but they did a thing where you could pick one of 3 stakes, and the third stake was, everything was minimum of 60 yards unmarked, and Johnny Heath absolutely destroyed that course. I finished second, of course, and yeah, Johnny said, never gonna beat the heater kid. All right, well, for an old guy in the senior class, it's not bad on an elk. So, hey, I'm gonna go through some questions here. Okay, first question I just see, can we prepay for Knock to It in Australia? So hey, any foreigners, we will ship to you if you just email info@knockonarchery.com. She actually has to create a PayPal invoice for you, but she will do the paperwork to ship internationally. Hey, Josh and Mandy White, shout out, you freaks. Love you guys. Let's see here. I think we need to see a video of the freak show versus the dud. Gosh, I would just love to have a fun little shooting day with Jesse. Well, my sight scale's off, dang it. Sorry, people. Well, there we go. So, yeah, darn it. Still a 4-inch group, but my 100-yard mark, well, it was actually for his 105, but that was my max to my little Cinella candle holder. Let's see here. Going through. Got my silverback and knocked to it. Thanks. Oh, you guys are welcome. I don't think my night to room 34 is shooting as fast as it should. I don't know what that means. Let's see. What's the difference? Geez, you guys. How do you guys not know about the releases? I can't just answer the release questions on here. All right, let me go through here. Do I think the 34 shoots tighter groups than the 31? Depending on your build and your size, I would say they shoot equal, but here's what I believe when it comes to actual groups and accuracy. I believe that if you can keep your head position vertical and the string angle normal on your face, where you're not having to go forward to the string, and the peep isn't far from your eye, then you're going to be in really good shape. If you start to get that peep further from your eye, then you're going to have issues. I'm just going to walk in here. I got to walk in, grab this rest because you guys asked about it. Well, so this is my little, look at that thing. Wow, that thing is a freaking beast. I love that deer. So here is, I'm going to show you guys this new rest because that was a question I saw. Now the one on my bow is actually a prototype, an early prototype. But here is going to be the brand new one coming. Okay, this is close to production. Right here it is. What's awesome about this rest, it's going to be limb driven. It's got adjustable tension and adjust the tension. Micro adjust left and right. It's got easy knobs for the micro adjustability. This little arrow thing right here is awesome. Okay. I'll show you on my bow here. At first I didn't think I would like it, but I love it. It works like this. This goes up on your arrow, holds it perfectly, just like that. And as you pull back, as soon as you pull back halfway, it comes right down. Magnet holds it right out of the way. Don't have any problems. I'm going with a half cage. The full cage isn't my preference. Slightly changed the blade, and the angle of the blade also lengthened the cage as well versus other models so that you can get more clearance. Here's what's sweet. Got these brackets. Actually working on the last thing we're doing is trying to make this so that I can use Broadwater's blades. I like the blade that he's got. I like how it sits better. But yeah, you'll be able to remove your hunting rest. You'll be able to add in a target rest. You can change the blade angle. You can have slight tension on the rest and the tension of the blade itself. And we'll be sending them with wide and narrow, so you can do 3D indoor or field and target. And here's the clamp that goes on the limb. Super nice, no more jacking around with rubber parts. This thing is just so nice, goes right on. You can see right there how it goes, super easy. I shot it as a going to the upper limb, and I did not like it there. And if you're gonna ask why, which I'm sure you're going to, the reason I didn't like it to the upper limb is once I started hunting and hanging my bow on an easy hanger, that cable going to the top limb was a pain in the butt. And the other thing too is I just feel like I've contacted my top cable on a lot more stuff being to the top limb. I might as well, let's see, I might as well put you guys back in the little container there. I'll shoot another group for you. I'm gonna go with 106 now because I was a little low before. This isn't an accurate measurement, so I'll keep shooting the silverback. Close it, and it's ready to go. It's ready to fire. You depress this, hold down your safety, let off your safety. What I do is, this is almost exactly opposite of what I do with a trigger release. So I hold this in this position as I draw back. Then when I'm anchored looking through my peep, I'll let off this, and I'll actually bring this finger around to the index finger again, keep this hand straight, and start my pull. Works awesome. I'm not activating it by doing this. You almost want to focus on 2/3 of your pull with your index finger, 2/3 of your pull like this. 1/3 will be on this finger. Again, index under your jaw, middle finger right above that jaw, pull along the trough of your jaw. So I think you guys can see me here. You guys see that? Good. There we go. Flying like laser beams. Got a little bit of a breeze, but it's nice. I'll shoot one more and then we'll answer some questions. All right, it's flying good. Okay, let's go back through some of your questions here, scroll through. Highlight of an arrow can I go with at 70 pounds? Well, 350 grains would be 5 grains per pound. That's probably right where I'd say, since that's what most manufacturers say. How loud was the click with the arrow rest? It's about like this. So if you want to, you can put felt underneath there when it comes around, but normally when it comes off the arrow, it's very minimal. This is the bow I shot my big buck with, and worked awesome. So I'm gonna slide you guys in there again. When can I get one of those Noctuits? Question of the year. Literally cannot make them fast enough. We actually loaded Noctuits on the website 4 days ago. For those of you who had, here's the deal. If you want to Noctuit, here's what you got to do, because Sharon cannot keep up right now with emails on pre-orders. You have to go to the Nock On Archery website, click on the release, and there's a little box that says notify me. You enter your address in there, and once you click it, it's going to notify you as soon as we put them in the cart. So we added a few hundred in the cart just 2 days ago. The emails went out to the people who had clicked the notify me, and they were gone in about 17 minutes. So I never was able to post that we had any available. Let's see here. Well, my draw length is 30.5 on this bow. I'm shooting an Easton Axis 300 with 50 grain brass, a 3-inch max stealth vane. Let's see here. That was a shot where in a tournament I probably would have let down. A little too long on time. Give it a little bit, but hopefully you guys can see. I wanted you to be able to see how this comes through. Arrow flight again is dynamo. A couple people asked questions if there was any issues with high tears. None at all. This bow, I wish I could let it up for you, but this bow is actually tuning. You can see right there. My tune is exactly down the center of the string, center of the tiller bolts. I'm at 90 degrees when the arrow is up. I'm at 90 degrees and it's shooting great, I'm telling you. All right, got a little bit of wind kicked in the last few rounds. Let's see. I don't know what my FOC is right now, Casey. Sorry about that. I haven't measured this particular one. Target bows. So actually, you know what we'll do? You guys mentioned target bows. I don't even know how I didn't think of that. So I'm just gonna go inside here. Hey guys from Wales, love the Welsh. You got a cool language. I wish I could speak it, but the rest of the world wishes they could understand it. All right, we're going into the dojo of the dud here, and I just thought I'd show you guys a little something you're asking about. Right there. That's it. Scott Dietrich, my old high school buddy, just logged on. Hey Scott. He's my old lineman, football, right there. I think he works at Dick's Sporting Goods. I was at Dick's Sporting Goods this past weekend. Okay, so go people. That's it. This is the Prevail right here. This is mine. This will be the one that I set up. The reason it is not set up right now is because I want to do it for you guys in a video. But this is it. Shot it a little bit, loved it, and I'm gonna reset it up for you guys in a video. And I also am gonna set up one of these bad boys in a video as well. Let's see. I'm gonna. Hey, keep the podcasts and videos coming. Love it all the way up here in Newfoundland. That's awesome, guys. Thank you. Appreciate that. Let's see. A tip to stop my Defiant turbo cam from rolling over before I pull the trigger. The tip is, that is why some people don't get the turbo cam. The turbo cam does have more aggressive feel. The valley is shorter. And because of that short valley, depending on your draw length or your position of your cam, it can certainly have some negative effects. So you definitely want to get a less aggressive cam if that's giving you problems. The other thing you can do as well, if you have a turbo cam and the valley is short for you, or this goes for any model by the way, if you build your cables with either 2 strands less, or if you use a smaller serving diameter than the stock serving, you will increase, you'll actually give yourself a little more holding weight and a little more valley. I was a little right on people. So, a little wind. I'm not watching my bubble, see? That's why I can't compete against Broadwater right there, because I'm a little bit to the right. Groups are good. Let's see if there's any more questions I can get right here. How far did I shoot my buck? My buck was I think 12 yards, maybe 12 yards. I like it when almost all my pins fit on them. Hey everybody from Jersey, Brian Visco. Hey buddy, how's it going? Let's see. I don't know how long I'm allowed to do this, but let's see. Is the let off different between the 34 and the 31? I have not got a 31-inch Pro Defiant. I only have the 34s. What I can tell you is, here, a lot of people ask what model they should get because of their draw length. So here's what I say. Look in the catalog and choose the model that has a cam that allows you to shoot that cam in preferably the last 2 positions, so the D or the E position. Okay, you'll see these 2 right here. So a lot of people that are in like a 28.5-inch draw length, they've got the option on some models to either shoot a number 3 cam, say in an A or a B position, or they can shoot the number 2 cam in the D or E position. You want to wait and order that number 2 cam and shoot it in the D or E position. You'll love the let off and the valley better on that. Okay, John, what are your shots, or what are your thoughts on pulling through the shot and it causing increased pin float? As tension builds and I pull my release arm backwards, my pin float movement increases until the shot breaks. So, well, all I can tell you is if your draw length is proper and you start to learn what's called a preload, okay? This is important because the preload, and I think I talked about this, I wish I could show you, but the preload is when you draw back, you actually contract these muscles right here in your back. And when I come to my anchor and I come into my peep sight, I actually load a little bit of extra pressure on that muscle so that I really have emphasis on where I'm trying to pull from. Then, as I let off my safety, since I already have a little bit more contraction there, my preload's good, I just barely start to build that pressure slow and smooth until it goes off. Now, what I like to teach with the tension activated releases is that you start out with more than what you may want. Another thing too is you really want to refrain from pushing and pulling, okay? If you're trying to do this, then you're going to have that extra movement. The other thing too is if that front shoulder starts to collapse like this right here, you can see, well, you might not be able to know, but this is an improper position, okay? This is a proper position. And I'll show you here quick what this allows you to do. I'm gonna take this sweatshirt off just so you can, I don't know, a t-shirt. Oh, I got the rock on, okay. So let me just show you here. Easy exercise, people, easy exercise. So if you take your arms, they're down by your side, not that tall. If your arms are down by your side, you raise your arms, bring one arm in, perfect archery form. Now we can make it complicated by pushing and pulling. Now this, you can see, there's a difference, right? Can everyone see that? There's a difference. So pushing and pulling a bow, this already, this shoulder is in an incorrect position. And what happens is people that shoot like this, they want to aim and they want to manipulate the release and be solid. You know, here's another look. So if you compress this shoulder like this scapula is slid back against the spine, and your right one over here has no room to move. So again, here's an easy exercise if you want to know what back tension is. Take your arms, loosey-goosey, put them at your side, raise your arm up, bend one arm in, and you should be able to touch the center of your sternum. Keeping your finger on your sternum, slide those fingers along your pec muscle. Boom. If you can do that, you're using back tension. You can feel right in the center of your back, the rhomboids specifically are moving that scapula back. Now, if you want to complicate it and try to load a bunch of weight down here to where you're trying to pull through with your lat, or where you're trying to pull through with the bulk of your deltoid, all that is arm. You really want to just focus on being able to slide that scapula in the center of my back using this muscle. You know, if you were able to see through me right now with x-ray vision, I'd have a scapula here, I'd have a rhomboid muscle right here. As I do this muscle's contracting and it's pulling that over. That's what it looks like right there. So front shoulder, perfect archery right there. Now if you want to do this, then that's a problem. The reason why I'm not an advocate of heavy stabilizers is because so many people physically cannot hold a heavy stabilizer like this, okay? And what happens is when you have too much weight, here's what you have to do to hold it back. You have to do this to compensate to hold it. And if you're in this position, you're an aimer. And I'm not saying that's bad. There's a lot of archers that are world-class archers from aiming. But if you want to know how to pull through a shot and have continual motion to execute a shot, no different than Brady Ellison or Jake Kaminsky does with the recurve, then you have to be able to have full expansion on the front. You have to be able to pull through. These front shoulders need to be down and forward. You don't see Brady Ellison sitting there like this, right? His front shoulder is down and forward. It's a huge difference. Yeah, I'm training to fight in the UFC. I know one move. It's called that headlock position. No, I'm not a fighter unless someone wants to throw down on a target range. Then we're on. All right, let's see here. Okay, so here, do I lift my bow up? I'm gonna do this right now. I'm gonna show you guys. How many of you are like totally gonna get fired? That's what's hilarious. How many of you are at work right now? So here, let's just show you this. I can't shoot anything, but here's my draw cycle. Right here, when I grab my bow, you can see this arm is connected to the bow, obviously. Grabbing my release, my hand is flat, okay? Then, and I don't know how much battery I got on my phone, people, so hopefully this doesn't cut out. Then you can see I have my front shoulder down right here. Before I ever make my shot, this front shoulder needs to be in the correct position. Now if you do this, here's what a lot of people do as a mistake. They pull back, and this motion right here, you're already wrong. I can tell how difficult the shot is going to be right here in this position. This front shoulder is already compressed back. If you could see my hip, the hip's actually hitched already. So what you have to do is you have to lower that front shoulder like this, okay? Lower that front shoulder, raise the bow to the target, point your arrow at the target, and draw the release hand back to your face. In this position right here, you can see that my front arm and my drawing arm are parallel with one another. I'm not like this. I'm not like this. My head's not like this. I have a perfect T formation. That's what you want right there. Okay, I'm at 10% battery, people. Things are gonna crash fast. But might as well shoot one more time for you guys and gals. Thank you so much. It's getting a little bit windy out here. I'll shoot a little bit more. This draw length looks too short. Smokey, don't do it. Don't do it. All right, I'm gonna just change this camera angle a little bit. Okay. See if you guys can see this as I just described now. So front shoulders down, rear shoulders ready, raise the bow to the target, draw the release hand to the face, anchor, peep, let off the safety, pull. Okay, that's how the Dud does it right there. Now I am shooting, just so everyone knows, I'm shooting this silverback right now at 5.2 pounds over my holding weight. It's quite a bit. You can tell my shot does take a little bit longer, but I can tell you that if you get in the habit of practicing with that little bit extra weight, you'll really start to learn the awesomeness of the preload in the back and pulling through. Make sure all you guys and gals out there spread the word about what I'm trying to do. Broadwater, if we were shooting off together, you got me, dude. I'm an inch left of the 12. I think Johnny Heath, Jesse Broadwater, they would have put me in my normal place, which is 3rd place. Hey, can't be perfect, people. Just be happy. Be happy you know Johnny Heath and Jesse Broadwater and Joel Burnham and Paul Hatch and Chris Wall. Oh yeah, Cam would be sprinting to the target. I know, I can't do that. I'm slow and steady, man. I'm like that old bull. I just kind of cruise down there. So thanks everybody so much. Appreciate it. And you guys, hey, I need a camera guy. Jeremy, my camera guy just flew home. I'm sad. So thanks everybody. Here in the next few days, I'm gonna try to do a bow build for all of you, and on top of that, I need to get that video out of that freak of a buck. So thanks everybody, appreciate it. Knock on, spread the word. Buy Hoyt. They are a sponsor. So see ya.